Hello everyone, that's Julia from Russia with my talks about marketing, user research and customer development. Today I'm going to tell you about top 5 mistakes that companies regularly do in their in-depth interviews with customers. Please don't forget that I'm talking about my own experience, so I'm waiting for your comments. Maybe you had the same mistakes, maybe you had other mistakes, maybe you have any questions. Write me in the comments and let's discuss that. So, mistake number 1. Don't write down all of the questions that you have to your respondents. What do I mean? Many people think that it's enough to write down only the main topics, the main questions for the respondents, and all of the other information, all of the other questions. Well, they have it all in their head. So why it's needed to write down all of these stupid, because they are not really stupid questions. It's not necessary. I remember everything. Guys, I know that all of you are smart ones, no doubts. But human memory, unfortunately, is not ideal. That's why you forget some of the questions during each interview. It's normal. It's just a normal process. Nothing else. That's why think a bit, just a bit. Put out all of the questions from your head, write it down, gather other hypotheses, other questions from all of the members of your team, write down too. It's necessary. It's very necessary. Rank all of the questions and go to the interviews with this list of questions. Otherwise, you'll forget part of the questions during each interview. Yes, it's practice. It happens all of the time. And in the end, you will get a mix of information, but it's not insights. Because for insight, you should ask about this topic during each interview, not during 5 interviews or 2 interviews. During each interview, you should ask the same questions. And at the end, if you know all of the questions, if you have all of the questions in your head, it will be easy for you. No? Mistake number 2. To talk about different themes that are not connected with the interview during the interview. Usually that happens with product managers or top managers that have a lot of objectives in their heads and they want to solve everything at once. The most interesting thing that they usually say that no, our respondents don't have enough time for 2-hour interview. No, it's impossible. They have lack of time. Okay, guys, if your respondent has lack of time, just 1 hour or 40 minutes, don't discuss other themes during the interview, please. Because if you want to make an interview, you should make an interview during the interview. Nothing else. Don't discuss about partnership, don't discuss about the mission of your company, don't discuss about the situation in the country. No, please. You have the list of the questions, so first of all, ask your questions. And after that, after you've asked everything, well, if your respondent has time, you can talk about any other themes about partnership, why not? But first of all, your questions and interview. Mistake number 3. We don't prework the respondent to tell us about his or her situation, life. We give him or her answers. I'm talking about the situation that people ask something like, well, then you use this service, do you have this problem with that or not? Guys, no, please, it's just one of your hypotheses. That's why, first of all, you should listen to the client. You should ask open questions. Something like, well, tell me about your experience of using these kind of services. What situation did you have with these services in the past? Maybe you had any bad situations? What? Which ones? Tell me about them. Maybe you had any good situations? Tell me about them too, please. It's very interesting for me. And only after that, after the respondent had answered these questions, of course you should ask step by step, not all at once as I've done it now, only after that you can say something, well, we had some respondents that used to say us about this problem, but you didn't mention about that. Is it not a problem for you in reality? And it will be the real test of the hypothesis for you, because if the respondent hadn't mentioned this problem on a spontaneous way, that means that he or her doesn't have this problem in reality. It's like a sign for you, doesn't have. Well, then you can ask and to check it once again, and the respondent will say you if he or she thinks about that or not, but probably not in reality. Problem number 4. We don't go deeper in our questions to the respondent. Especially often it happens when we're talking about concept tests, the test of your ideas. Because, well, it's very difficult to hear that your idea is not good enough. While respondents, they tend to say that, the idea is very good, yeah, it's not bad, even in Russia. Even in Russia, the respondents like to say that. It's awful, but it works in such a way. That's why that should be enough for you. That, he says or she says that everything is okay. That means my idea is okay. No. You have to ask more. What is okay? Why do you think that's okay? What advantages does it have? Does it have any disadvantages? Are you agreed to buy it just now? We are going to sell it to you. Are you ready to pay money for that? And wait what he or she will answer to you. That will be really interesting. Believe me, in most of the cases, that current person that used to say, yeah, the idea is very good, doesn't want to pay money for it. And it's very interesting, because now you have the opportunity to understand what's wrong with your idea. And no, it's not anything bad for you. No. Because just now, only now, you can start your work on this idea. And it's an opportunity for you to make a really great product. It's an opportunity. That's why, please do it. Ask everything. And the respondent has to say or has to explain you why he or she needs your product. If they cannot do that, well, that means that your product is not good enough, because it shouldn't be just not bad. It should be very good, exceptional in something. Only after that it has an opportunity to be the great product. Mistake number 5, the last one, to give any evaluation to the respondent's words in the moment of the interview. In most of the cases, it's not a negative evaluation. In most of the cases, more often, it's a positive evaluation. So what's wrong with that? I'll explain you. The worst thing ever, then you give any evaluation, all the respondent's words, is that he or she will try to give you not the truth, but the answer that you will probably like to hear. But you always need the truth. That's why you shouldn't evaluate the respondent's words. And sometimes, in some forms, you can even provoke the respondent to give you the truth. Something like that, I know, for example, I have a child, I know it's not a good way, then your child watches iPad all day long, but sometimes I do it. It's very, very helpful. Yeah, you don't do that. Don't use such tips. So that's all for today. If you agree with me or this video was useful for you, please write me down in the comments. If you disagree with me, well, write me down in the comments and we'll discuss this. Why you disagree with me? Maybe you are right. I don't know for the moment. Yeah, and of course, likes to this video, subscribe on my channel, you know what you have to do, yeah, I'm sure. And bye bye!